Jill Duggar continues to put out information about her family and how her dad Jim Bob Duggar treats his kids. In the latest interview, Jill and her husband Derek Dillard talked about Jill's fertility issues. They also mentioned how Jim Bob favors his children who had the most grandkids. Here is what Jill says about her dad and how he tries to control the narrative. Jill Duggar says Jim Bob favors his children with more kids. Jill Duggar, 32, mentioned in a podcast interview with Dr. Julie Hanks that there is a lot of stress in her family to have as many kids as possible. She says how hard it is to grow up with the pressure of having a lot of kids. It is all part of her family's belief system, but she has her own doubts about the entire situation. Jill said that their religion says to trust God in the number of children a family should have, even if that number is as many as 20. However, Jill says that means that people should also trust God if he feels that they should have fewer kids. She points out her fertility issues as a problem with having babies and says that is also God's will. With that said, Jill says that her father seems to favor his kids who have the most kids. According to Derek Dillard, Jim Bob said that the child who had the most kids would get their house. He said it was a sense of Jim Bob considering those with the most kids as more important than the others. While Jill said that it was partially a joke, she didn't mince words when it came to having babies. She asked if she was being punished for her lack of desire to have 20 kids. She referred to it as the mind games that Jim Bob plays. Jill Duggar said she controls her own narrative. Jill Duggar said that her dad demands to control the narrative of his kids and their families. She said that she sought out a fertility expert after she showed concern about Israel's health. She then decided that maybe she wouldn't be able to have any more kids. Jim Bob wasn't happy about that statement and said that they didn't know that for a fact. Jill and Derek have 3 kids, Israel, 8, Samuel, 6, and Frederick, 1. Derek said that Jim Bob considered himself a gatekeeper for his and Jill's personal information. He said that Jim Bob says they don't know for sure how many kids they will have, and they need to be careful about what they say to anyone about it. Derek said he wouldn't stand for that, and he and Jill will set their own boundaries and decide for themselves what they say and to whom. What are your thoughts about Jill Duggar's recent statements about her dad? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.